Hello and welcome to Cricket Corner. This is our take on the T20 World Cup, which has now reached the semi-final stage. And happy Holi to everyone. And we'll be talking about tonight's match, New Zealand versus South Africa, which is will be played in a few hours' time from Eden Gardens in Calcutta. And I'm joined today by Jitesh and Neil, who will, along with me, talk about this match. And this is coming to you live from Radio Masti. So, Jitesh and Neil, welcome to the show. So, the first semi-final coming up in a few hours' time, New Zealand versus South Africa. As we have seen in this tournament so far, South Africa unbeaten, and they've been totally dominant. And if you go into this match with New Zealand, they've won all their 5 matches played in the T20 World Cup against New Zealand. So, Neil, do you think New Zealand have a chance in this game?
I believe they do. It's not going to be a one-sided affair, Santosh, despite South Africa having been such a dominant side in all the matches in this edition of the T20. Yes, you could argue that history goes against the Black Caps. All the 6 encounters in T20 World Cups have always been in favor of South Africa. But the team is a well-balanced squad. They've been batting quite well. They field extremely well. The bowling is coming together. And I think out here, pace will dictate things because there's bounce and early movement in Eden Gardens. But so will spin. And to the extent that South Africa doesn't have a wrist spinner amongst their squad, yes, they rely on Maharaj, and he's good. But I think things get balanced out if you look at it kind of across the 3 segments of batting, seam bowling, and spin.
So let's have this video about the South African team. And Jitesh, a good balanced team, solid batting at the top, and then you also have the pace attack. Like Neil was saying, Maharaj, only the spinner there. But Marco Jansen, of course, is also bowling well, good all-rounder. And there's also Colin Bosch. So South Africa has a whole looking a solid team, Jitesh.
Yep.
And can we have that video on the South African team?
Good evening, Santosh. Good evening, Neil, and happy Holi to everybody. Thanks for this video, Santosh. We gave a South Indian flavor to the Holi today, and also the game tonight. I mean, it's quite risky to talk about South Africa as champion, showing them in the video, because New Zealand do also have equal chance. I would not say 50-50, but I would still say 55-45 in favor of South Africa for today's game. Because, see, in these big tournaments, big knockout games, especially in T20, your form always precedes over your skills. South Africa is unbeaten in this campaign. We have seen what happened in 2024 when India went unbeaten till the knockouts and what they did. So they are looking very strong. As you rightly mentioned, they have their stats as well in their favor because they have never been beaten by New Zealand in T20 World Cup. So, yes, they are very strong today. And they will be, at top of their confidence going into this game. But New Zealand, they are ultimate tournament fighters. They don't have that choker tag, but they do choke in all these ICC tournaments because Unfortunately, their winners cabinet is still empty. South Africa lately has got a World Test Championship, so they have come out of it. So it's gonna be super exciting. I think it is gonna be a high scoring game because it is being played in Kolkata, and we see what happened in the last game between India and West Indies, where a 190 chase also was easily achieved by team batting second. So looking forward to it. Great game ahead.
I think South Africa become more solid under their coach Shukri Conrad. They have been showing a lot of fight, unlike in previous years. They seem to have shed this Joker's tag, and you see a lot of youngsters in the team, and they have been playing good, solid cricket. When it comes to New Zealand, the batting is revolving a lot on the openers. Tim Seifert and Finn Allen were explosive and can really hammer the bowling. But Rachin Ravindra at number three has not been really firing that well. So if you saw in the Champions Trophy, he was really good. But in this tournament, he hasn't clicked so far. So perhaps, Jitesh, you would say that this is the match in which he will come good, like Samson came good for India.
I think yes. I mean, he's showing that flair. He's coming up with a quick 30s and 40s in the middle order, specifically Rachit Ravindra. And but his form with the ball is also very crucial because he has been getting those crucial wickets and bowling those crucial spell as a spinner for New Zealand. Because unfortunately, this World Cup Santner has not got that impact. Uh, you know, uh, to in fact to his potential that he used to do before this World Cup. So, but for me, the player to watch out for New Zealand is the opening stand because Seifert and Phil Annan, they are due for runs. They have not scored big as opening partnership with any of the big strong teams. So I am keeping my fingers crossed for them to fire today and make this competition super competitive.
So let's have this video of the New Zealand team, and after that we'll look at the New Zealand middle order and as well as the bowling. So that's the New Zealand team under Michelle Santner. So the middle order, as we have seen, Ravindra, Daryl Mitchell, and then Glenn Phillips, and Mark Chapman, really not firing on all cylinders in this tournament so far. Perhaps the semi-final will add some spark.
I think the New Zealand middle order is kept quite like Neil has been in the past 5-10 minutes. So, Neil, what's your take on the New Zealand middle order till today in the World Cup?
Yeah, look, I mean, they have. It's undeniable they have not delivered to the potential. Certainly, Glenn Phillips in the matches, in the warm-up matches before the T20 World Cup, he was really, blazing, and not only his fielding but his batting as well. And everyone is talking about Glenn Phillips is now at the right position in the batting order. Rachin, even there, was getting out to rash strokes, but Rachin, Glenn, Mitchell, and then, to be honest, Santner himself is not a pushover. He is a genuine all-rounder who adds strength to NZ's or the Black Caps middle order. So whether it's Chapman or some of the other guys who come in, I think everyone rises to a big occasion. So I think the semifinals will see a slightly better middle order. I think to reverse the position on South Africa, South Africa's had the enviable position of having a good start in most of the matches. You've got De Kock, you've got Rickleton, and and Aiden himself is number 3 in the batting league. So what would happen? And I'm reversing the question around a little bit. What would happen to South Africa if suddenly they have a few early knocks? Then the reliance on their middle order would be interesting to see.
So we'll come back to that after a break. The South African batting, as you mentioned, against India, we saw a mini collapse, but the batters did come through solidly and held the innings together. So it's possible that the batting could fail today, but it'll all depend a lot on the New Zealand bowling. And today it looks like Ish Sodhi may not play. They might go with that another seamer for this game. And looking at the conditions at the Eden Gardens, spin may not be a big factor there, and a lot will depend on how New Zealand bowl against a strong South African batting lineup. So, Jitesh, what's the strength of the New Zealand bowling attack really?
Yes, Santosh, in fact, you're absolutely spot on this. But I just want to, share my gut feel. My feeling for today is that both the lookalikes, Quinton de Kock and Rickleton, might have a big partnership today. Quinton de Kock has been playing for KKR. He knows the ground very well. And Rickleton, the kind of shots that he has towards the onside, specifically in cow corner and square leg, I think it will come handy with the smaller boundaries of Eden Garden. Having said that, from New Zealand bowling perspective, I think they didn't have any bad day till today in the in the World Cup. Their pace attack has been good. It's only when they are trying lots of combinations, trying to give Glenn Phillips some over at the death overs, and Mitchell Santner himself trying to not get taking that job to finish those crucial overs. Those things have only not clicked for New Zealand. Otherwise, Matt Henry and all these guys, and I hope he comes back after his baby's birth, because daddy's duty second and nation's duty first. So if he comes back, New Zealand bowling attack looks really good. And if they are bowling first, mind you, if New Zealand bowls first, I think they will get a lot of assistance from the pitch, specifically the seamers of New Zealand, because they are hitting the lengths every time, and they are also, good with the pace. So it will be an interesting battle, and it will be a treat if Quinton de Kock and Rickleton goes together and against the pace attack of New Zealand. What's your view, Neil?
Yeah, I look, we're in for an interesting battle. You've got Lockie Ferguson, who bowls his heart out. Matt Henry, who's accuracy personified, and he's been amongst the wickets. And if they were playing an extra pacer, as Santosh alluded to, that's just the right thing. Now, in the past, people have made comments, cricket pundits, the general public, about how the spinners of New Zealand are part-time bowlers. They've been a bit disparaging. To be honest, all of them have come good. I'm not talking about Santner. Santner, of course, is full-time, but Glenn Phillips, Chapman, Rachin, all of them have been amongst the wickets. So, I think once again, I began by saying they've got a balanced side. I stand by that. They've got a balanced side, and I think the pace attack is going to be interesting. But for me, if South Africa wins the toss, they'll probably put New Zealand into bat and then chase. They'll know exactly what they've got to go for. So,
yeah, South Africa, the bowling attack looks very good. Lungi Ngidi, of course, the top wicket taker in this tournament. But slight worry about Kagiso Rabada, the way he's not really come across firing on all cylinders in this match. But of course, Colin Bosch is bowling well. So South Africa pace attack looks well, and Keshav Maharaj, of course, providing that spin option and backed by Markram and others. So this South African bowling attack against the New Zealand batting, Jitesh, how do you see it going?
Yes, I think we have missed to mention Mr. Marco Jansen. The last league game that South Africa played with New Zealand, Marco Jansen was the man of the match. And the guy is, totally deceptive, because he comes, he runs very slowly from his run up. He's a tall left arm pace bowler, but the kind of bounce and the speed that he gets off the pitch when the ball pitches there is terrific. I mean, I don't see anybody in the world who get that zip from the wicket with bounce like Marco Jansen does, and plus his batting is also very advantageous for him.
Yeah.
So I am looking forward for Marco Jansen, how New Zealand tackles them, because last time he just took all the wickets for the top orders, and it was game, set, and match for New Zealand. Because of 170 plus score, they were not able to defend. So I am absolutely
agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say that Ngidi has been remarkable in this edition of the World Cup, and he continues to surprise batsmen with his change of pace, his slower bouncer, his slow ball is really deceptive. There's such a difference between his fast ball and his slower delivery. So I think he's going to be a factor to contend with.
On that, Neil, I was also very fascinated because of how Ngidi is performing consistently with these lower ones against India also, and every team. In an international cricket, sometimes you come up with some new tricks in your hat for 3-4 games, and the opponents, they do analyze how you are doing that. Because if you see, when he bowls, he holds the ball like this with 2 fingers when he rolls it and bowls that slower one. I think teams are now preparing how to tackle him, and my worry is what happened to that Pakistani mystery spinner, the trump card, Mr. Tariq. Everybody started picking specifically Sri Lankan boys. Similarly, Ngidi might not have that effective game today, because I think they will come all prepared how to handle, because Ngidi is bowling 4 out of 4 balls in every over with those slower ones. It's getting too much, right? So, and nothing to take away from the performances and the skill level that he's bringing, but I think today's game it will not be that impactful. I hope so. Santosh, what's your view?
Yeah, we'll take a break now, and after we come back, I'll give my views and also look at which team India would like to play in the final.
Make sure you add Masti to your lives. Download the app today and stay energized and connected on the go. Radio Masti 24/7 Live, Singapore's only Bollywood radio since 2009. Oh yeah.
I think Ngidi and South Africa have realized that the batters, particularly on the pitches in India and Sri Lanka, like the ball to come on to the bat, and that is when they've been scoring freely. And like Engidi bowled against Abhishek Sharma, you saw the variation, and he kept the ball a bit out of the reach of the batters and then slowed the ball down and tried different variations. So that is really clicking for South Africa, and they've realized that they have a lot of options, like Jitesh said, Marco Anson with that his height and the bounce that he gets, and then the Rabada with his pace, and then also Ngidi with his variations. So South Africa have a good bowling lineup, and they will employ that to their best abilities. But I feel another plus point for South Africa has also been their fielding. Their fielding, as we saw in the match against Afghanistan, they took some crucial catches and runouts and all that, and their fielding on the boundary line has also been superb. New Zealand also very good fielding side. Glenn Phillips, as you have seen, is a superb fielder there. So it's all both the teams are quite well balanced, and it'll on the day which teams really live the game. That is going to be crucial, I think. For India, which team do you think is India would like to play in the final? Jitesh, in your opinion?
Okay, I'm glad that we are already talking finals with India. Go India. So fingers crossed. See, for me, irrespective, both the teams have never won a World Cup. So they are coming for their first time glory. Both the teams are chasing. If you talk about it, in fact, this is one of the fan questions as well on the screen. If you talk about it, both the teams, as you Santosh rightly mentioned, both fielding, they both are at par. Both have excellent fielding side. They both have excellent all-rounder pace bowling battery. The spinners are also there. They have part-timers also. Openers are also superb in superb form and all those stuff. So I don't think so India will have any preference if you talk about my view. Because both of them have been defeated by India recently in knockout games in ICC tournament. So India might be saying, bring it on. But before the matchup with the Queen, before the matchup with England, it's too early for me to actually be excited about it. So I am keeping my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping whosoever wins, whosoever delivers, we'll do the preparations after tomorrow's game. Neil.
So we are assuming that India will be in the final, but of course India has to play England tomorrow in the other semi-final. But as we saw in the last crucial game against the West Indies, which was a virtual quarterfinal, wonderful innings from Sanju Samson, which really took India over the line. And a very disciplined and knock and a pressure situation. And Neil, how did you enjoy that innings from Sanju Samson?
It was impeccable. I mean, look, there wasn't a single blemish, really. I mean, there were a couple of uppish strokes, but that was when the field was in the power play. And after that, it was a masterclass. So, one just had to sit back and enjoy. It was a real treat. And obviously, getting to very close to the all-time record was just delightful. Other people played cameo knocks. Yes, Abhishek remains a bit of a concern. But with Samson coming in, hopefully, they'll get off to a good start against England. Abhishek will probably have to take a leaf out of Samson's book. And the other, guys who come in shortly thereafter, Ishan as well, is due for runs.
So can we have that video on Samson hitting that winning boundary?
Clears mid on and finishes it off. Sanju Special Samson, 97 not out, looks up at the heavens and will get a standing ovation when he comes out. Well, he's waited a long time for this kind of innings. He's promised it right through his career. But he's chosen a very important day to get India into the semi-finals of the World Cup.
Sanju
So,
special Samson.
So for India, it's been like one batter or the other has really clicked for them. All the matches have carried India through. And Jitesh, for this match against England coming up tomorrow, do you think it's got to be a collective effort, or do you see one of the Indian batters again hitting top form?
Before that, Santosh, the video that we just saw, right? The celebration, Sanju threw his helmet and then he prayed, right? So there are lots of talks that he might get banned because of this act of his. What's your view, yours and Neil's view on that?
Yeah, mine,
Look,
I don't think it's a big issue, really. I mean, maybe he might get a bit fined or something, but I don't think he's going to get banned. I think that's my feeling. Neil?
Yeah, I just think it would be a quiet reminder, and potentially, I wouldn't even use the word reprimand, but just a reminder that there are certain symbols which need to be treated with respect, and I think it'll end there. I think everybody was so delighted by that innings. It was a quarterfinal knockout, must-win situation that, and given that he had put his heart and soul into kind of, he'd been waiting in the wings, and this was his day, so one can forgive him, all right, for that moment.
So we have, sorry.
There is a Hindi saying, right? Khisiyan billi khamba noche. Those people who lost, they are out of the tournament. They are trying to flow this through internet and social media about this thing, but absolutely crazy. Whatever you do, you can't take anything from that man, and that emotions, the peak of the emotions that he must be feeling after 10 years of sitting in the dugout, in and out of the team. I mean, you have to give it to the guy, and it's really disheartening that these kind of things are flowing in the internet. And coming back to your question, sorry to I just did an off track with that video. The England chances that we talked about, the question that you asked, I think the semi-final, big game semi-final, England. And if you see the 4 teams that you are playing in the semi-final, most of them, all the stars and players to watch out for are playing in IPL. So everybody knows each other quite well. They have been playing together a lot of times. So it again will be an evenly matched game tomorrow. England batting is a big concern. Top order has not clicked at all in the entire tournament. And we need to take that revenge of the 10-wicket loss that we had last time when we played that England
2-0-2-2. Absolutely.
I am looking forward to it. Analysis.
We have one more question coming up.
Okay.
So let's, from a fan, the question is, do you think spin will decide a match at Eden Gardens tonight, or will it be a batting paradise tonight? Neil, do you want to take this?
Yeah, sure. I can start off by saying I think at Eden Gardens, as we saw the other day, you will have a reasonably high score. The ball comes on, it bounces, but it comes on. Spin in the past, if you look at the statistics, has played less of a role. It's been pace at Eden Gardens, seam. So I think we'll continue to see that today. Will it be an outright batting paradise? I think, the average score is 180 plus. I think we could be in for whoever goes in first, a 200 plus start, and then a good chase. So I'm inclined to think it's going to be a high scoring match.
Jitesh, do you think the dew will play any factor in this game?
In fact, I was about to add. Thanks for highlighting this, Santosh. I mean, the spinners, yes, first innings they will have a good crucial role, because if the ball comes slower to your bat, it is not easy to go through your shots at Eden Gardens because of the nature of the pitch. But in the second innings, the spinners will find it really difficult because the dew factor is huge at Eden Gardens. So last game also we saw what happened to West Indies. They were not even a single spinner was able to bowl the entire quota. So whosoever bowls second, they'll have to rely on the pace bowling attack.
So I think the bowling has to be very disciplined in this particular game, and whichever team comes out well in this department, I think it's going to win this game. So let's look forward to a good game today. And tomorrow, of course, we'll be coming to you live the big match between India and England. That's going to come live at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Please tune in to that game and you can have an analysis there. So looking forward.
And for tonight's game, Santosh, Neil, I just a shout out to the South African fans because उनका दिल जो नॉकआउट मैचेस में जितना तेज धड़कता है ना, उनका एप्पल वॉच भी बोलता है भाई मैच रोको और हॉस्पिटल ले चलो. मतलब knockout games with South African fans is always crazy, high blood pressure, heart racing and all those stuff. So I do wish South Africa don't choke in this knockout and we have a fantastic game and it should go to till the last ball. And it should make up a good start for this semi-final episodes that we have been doing, and we will follow it up with the England India big match tomorrow. So I'm hoping for a cracker of game. Neil.
Perfect. I couldn't agree more. This could be labeled the match of two also-rans. I think both of them have shed that label, Joker, also-ran, whatever label you want to use. We're in for a great match, and we're in for an even bigger match tomorrow. So, guys, you got to attend every ball.
Yeah. See you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.